Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Leodis 15, where you join us for daily horse racing predictions every day in the form of a Lucky 15 bet, and I'll be giving you my Lucky 15 predictions for tomorrow's horse racing action. Just going to go through on how today's selections ran. Not a bad day actually, we've had a double come in for us today. Fantasy Keeper was our first one of the day in our first selection, came in at 8-1 in the end. That was a really nice performance there. That was Ocean Murphy on board and Michael Appleby. And that horse made its handicap debut, and it's definitely another one to keep an eye out for future races to see what the handicapper does with that horse, how far it'll whack him up for that performance. And we also just had Cobra de Mai come in at Huntington, which to be fair was a pretty easy contest for it, as it was only in a race of 3 runners. That one came in 2-1 for us, and that was Harry and Dan Skelton, who are absolutely on fire at the moment when it comes to producing winners. That was a great performance. He won by an absolute country mile in the end, but his other 2 rivals in the race were never up to the task. I think Cafe Blanco fell quite early on, so he just had the Nichols runner Murbid to keep an eye on, but he made quite a few errors in his jumping today, and he was never going to be on terms with Cobra de Mai. So yeah, so not a bad day today. We had a double. The other horses that ran didn't perform great, and the less said about them, the better, really. So we had a patchy pilot at Hexham, which, like I said, wasn't a great performance there. And we also had Marilyn, which did get a lot of market support in the day and was in the race for some of the way, but didn't have enough steam left in the tank compared to its other rivals. So that was disappointing there. But we're going to be getting stuck into tomorrow's horse racing action. And the first race that we're going to tomorrow in our Lucky 15 is going to Yarmouth in the 3 o'clock there. And the horse that we're backing here is called Dream Serenade, and it's another Michael Appleby horse. And this horse will be ridden by Sylvester de Souza, who's absolutely performing great guns at the moment when it comes to his riding. He's getting a lot of winners out of a lot of horses that have never really shown much. And this is kind of the same type of horse where it's not run badly. It's had 2 runs on the flat since the flat season resumed on the turf, where it's finished 3rd and 4th and hasn't been beaten by too many lengths. So some encouraging runs, you could say. This horse has mainly been an all-weather horse and again had a bit of a mixed bag of form, but I think that Sylvester could definitely get a winner for us here, and he's currently the favourite at the moment, and this looks quite a poor quality race, and I definitely think with this horse racing off a mark of 54 tomorrow, I think it's rated a bit more highly than that, and I definitely think it's going to have a decent chance tomorrow. Currently around 4-1 bookmakers at the moment, and that's going to be our first selection in our Lucky 15 tomorrow, Dream Serenade. The second horse that we're going to be backing tomorrow, so you just go up to Scotland for their flat meeting at Ayr in the 450, and the horse that I've chosen here is Royal Regent, who looks of interest. Currently around about 15-2, 7-1 bookmakers at the moment. This horse comes from the Lucy Namal yard and will be ridden by Sammy Joe Bell, who will be able to use a £3 claim here. Now this horse is a previous course and distance winner and made a seasonal reappearance a few weeks ago, wherein it finished 2nd Ayr, so it will like the track and it likes the distance as well. And I definitely think it's got a good chance tomorrow. It's going to be running off 74, which it did last time. And again, like Dream Serenade, I think this horse has some decent claims for running a good race. And that's who we're going for there, Royal Regent. The third horse that we're going to tomorrow sees us go to the evening meeting at Southwell on the jumps, and the horse that I've picked out here is Polly's Pursuit, who's round about 7-2 of bookmakers. It's a Nicky Henderson horse, this one. Going to be ridden by David Bass, who's probably quite an underrated jockey in my opinion. I like David Bass. He's ridden a few winners for me when I put bets on his rides. This horse is making its hurdling debut tomorrow, and it has produced some good efforts in bumpers. Last time we saw it was at Aintree, where it finished 9th out of 22 in a bumper, but that was a really highly rated bumper, and it wasn't a million miles away from being in the action in that race. I think it was only beaten within 10 lengths, so that's not bad there. and it was really running against some top class opposition there. So tomorrow it's going to be making its hurdling debut, like I said, and some of these horses have got some question marks still to answer, but I think with its top connections, I definitely think Polly's Pursuit is definitely ready to go hurdling and can deliver a winner for Henderson tomorrow to start getting his title defence underway, because I definitely think, like I said in our vlog yesterday, that with the Skeltons at the moment, who are absolutely in red hot form and had another winner today, could be the thorn in Nichols and Henderson's side this year for that trainer's title on the jumps. We're going to stay with the jumps for our last selection tomorrow at Southwell, and the horse that we're going to will run in the last race in the 850, and the horse that we're going for here is Leodis, who is trained by a trainer that I've never heard of before in Tom Tate, but the thing that interested me the most was the jockey booking of Richard Johnson, the current champion jockey, who actually rode a winner for us last week in a prediction that we made in this kind of race, a bumper with Vic's Honest Vic, I think it was. It was something like that, but it came in for us 7-1 in the end, and I definitely think, again, this horse has got not a bad profile, because it's only ever been seen once, and that was at Southwell in a bumper, and it finished 5th in that race, but it did lead for a lot of the way round, and it had Dougie Costello on board, which is mainly a flat jockey on board for that race, and he had the horse leading for much of the race, but it kind of lost steam towards the last furlong. So you think if the horse could come on for that run, and with Richard Johnson as well, getting a few winners in these types of races, we've backed Equus Amadeus as well a few weeks ago in a bumper, and he came in for us to perform a double, and that had Richard Johnson on board. So yeah, so this horse could be quite an interesting horse on paper. Currently 5-1 in the market, and a few of the other horses haven't really shown anything else, but then again, it is a bumper kind of race where horses are still learning their trade, running around a racecourse under pressure. But I definitely think this horse is definitely an interesting horse to look at tomorrow. So that's who we're going for there, Leodis, who runs in the 850 at Southwell. But if you've done alright today, if you did any of our selections, especially Fantasy Keeper, let us know in the comments box below. Also, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us here on YouTube at LuckyLoaders15. You can also like us on Facebook as well with the same name, LuckyLoaders15. Gamble responsibly. And also, just a question for you. I want to know, what bookmakers do you use for your Lucky 15 if you do Lucky 15 bets? I personally do Betfred, which does pay 3 times the one winner. So if you get one winner, well, normally you get your money back if you back a horse of odds at 5-1 or more. So that's good there. Most other bookmakers double the odds. But yeah, I go for Betfred. I used to be Sky Bet, who do give you the better SP, which Betfred don't do that. So that does annoy me. So if we backed a horse a bit of a shorter price and it came in a bit longer, we don't get that final price if you use the Betfred app. So let us know who you like to do your Lucky 15 bets with. So anyway, gamble responsibly, stay tuned for more horse racing predictions, and I'll see you soon.